भोल्युम इन्क्रिज गऱ्यो भने हुन्थ्यो नि गऱ्यो यसो यति नै गरिदियो मलाई त्यो यादै भइरहेछ स्पिकर चाहिँ अन छ नि ज्याकेट लगाएको छैन उता डेली लगाएको छैन प्रोजेक्सनको लगाएको छैन अब छैन अब एउटा मात्रै भेट्यो पल्टमा
I hope you have enjoyed the video. Now, to proceed with today's remaining portion of our program, tonight we are pleased to showcase the play Lady Frederick, a classic comedy in 3 acts by Somerset Maugham. This winning play, full of chaos, charm, humor, and a touch of high society intrigue, has been carefully beautifully brought to life by our talented student performers under the guidance of our mentors. We are truly honored by your presence this evening. Your support not only encourages the arts on our campus, but also inspires our young performers to explore and share the joy of theatre. So, without further ado, I invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the laughter, drama, and charm of Lady Frederick. We start with Act 1, the drawing room of Hotel Splendid at Monte Carlo, where we see Lady Merston is busy reading a book. Hello there. Yes, my lady. This is a very much welcome this evening. Yes, my lady. She is hotel now. Yes, my lady. Please send someone up to his room to say that I'm waiting to see him. Pardon, my lady, but the gentleman says he was on no account to visit her. Nonsense. Mr. Cole is my brother. You must go to him immediately. Mr. Cole, his valet is in the hall. Will your ladyship speak to him? Mr. Cole is more difficult to see than a cabinet minister. Send his servant to me. Very good, my lady.
Your ladyship wishes to see me.
Good evening, Thompson. I hope you had a comfortable journey.
Yes, my lady. Suppose always has a comfortable journey.
You did tell Mr. Cole that I should like to see him at once.
Pardon, my lady. Mr. Rose said no one should serve me to 10 o'clock.
What on earth is he doing?
I do not know, my lady.
How long have you been with Mr. Cole?
25 years, my lady.
I should have thought you knew how to spend every minute of his day.
When I engaged Thompson, I told him the first thing he must learn was the very difficult feat of keeping his eyes open and shut at one and the same time.
My dear Frederick, I've been waiting to see you for the last 2 hours. How tiresome you are.
My dear, you cannot grudge me a little repose after a long and a tedious journey. I had to repair the ravages to my person plus by doing 7 hours in the train.
I was bound to have a very short dinner.
Thompson, did you enjoy dinner at all?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You will leave now.
It's too bad of you, Frederick, to devour a substantial meal when I'm eating on a hard very in time.
It seems to agree with you very well. I've not seen you look better for years.
For heaven's sake, be serious and listen to me, Frederick.
I started immediately I got your telegram. Pray tell me what I can do for you.
My dear Frederick, child is capable of years in love.
It's altogether an unexpected condition for a young man of 22. If the lady is respectable, marry him and resign yourself to a do-laborer. If she's not, pack her off to the London or wherever she habitually practices the arts and graces.
I wish I could, but who do you think it is?
I can imagine a quite number of fair ladies who would look without disdain upon a young Marcus.
Lady Frederick Burroughs, she's 15 years older than he is.
That she's not old enough to pay his mother, which is a distinct advantage.
Poor child is simply infatuated. He rides with her all the morning, mutters with her all the afternoon, and gambles with her half the night. I never see him.
Why should you think Lady Frederick cares 2 straws for him?
Don't be ridiculous, Frederick. Everyone knows she has the family and she's crippled with debt.
One has to keep the happiness in this world. As surmised, she was on the verge of bankruptcy when her had brought a new mother. And you seriously think Charlie wants to marry her?
I'm sure of it.
Then how do you imagine I can help you?
Good heavens, I want you to prevent it. After all, he got a magnificent position. He got every chance to make a career for himself, and there's no reason why he cannot be a prime minister. It is not fair for the boy to marry a woman like that.
One has to keep the... It's
Not
an
nice,
unexpected...
Frederick. What are you talking about?
I'll take that. I can promise nothing will come of it.
Here they are.
Paradise.
The dear old uncle.
I thought you were at the casino. Daddy was always funny, so I brought him away.
I wish you wouldn't gamble, Charlie.
The dear mother. I lost £100,000.
You didn't try to my place. I shall probably be unwell tomorrow. Do you know that I'm so sorry.
let's hold to the table.
I'm glad that you prepare yourself properly for your duties as a heritage legislator. My dear Brenda, let's sing a song of theirs before we go to class. And romance me, please.
Certainly, certainly. What can I do for you?
So the thing is, I wanted to make a proposal of marriage.
My dear Lady Frederick, you take me by surprise.
Oh, no, not on my behalf, of course.
Oh,
The thing is that my brother Derek has proposed to your daughter, and that she has accepted.
Rose is a minx, and she's too much young to marry.
Now, don't get into a party like that. She's in love with Jared.
Well, I'll tell you what, that boy's speculative. I shall pack Rose off to England.
And break her heart.
Women are like old China, none the worse a brick or two.
You see, Admiral, I was 17 when I got married. But my mother tried to school friend, and I was desperately in love with another man. Before we got married, that man came from blind drum, and I had never seen a gentleman before. I was so ashamed to find out that day that he was an untrue. You don't know how I spent my 10 years with him. I've done many foolish things, but not actually.
I know, I know.
So when I tell you, you should just let them marry because that's what true love is all about.
I'm sorry, but I've made up my mind.
Don't be so hard on Ruth. She's in love with Gerald. Do you give them a confirmation?
Well, I'll tell you, you won't share with it. Gerald is the most ineligible man I've ever come across.
I know it. I just told that to him this morning. I'm so glad that we have you on this topic. Now there's nothing left but call them in, turn their hands and keep them our united blessings.
Before I consent to this marriage, I shall be your brother.
Now, this is really good, Editor. Gerald is a very good guy. He's going to be devoted to your daughter. You give him a chance. I know he's been a little while. But you know, he wouldn't give to a man who hasn't.
Well, he's a gambler, and I can deal with that.
Shall you promise never to take after him? But don't be so hurried. You are leaving after the rest.
Lady Frederick, I tell you what I will do. He shall marry Rose if he doesn't gamble for a year.
Really? Then I shall go away. Gerald, come here, Rose. Rose, I always knew your father was first dying. Oh, father, you're a freak.
I totally disapprove of this marriage, but if I have to say no to Lady Frederick. Not so fast, young man, not so fast. There's a condition.
What? Oh, father, please. Gerald is leaving himself for just 1 year, and then you two shall marry. Good night, Gerald. I will never forget your kindness. Now, don't you dare thank me until you have been married for 3 more years. Good night, Gerald. Nothing. Well, if you must know, I have my dress necklace 700 pounds, and I had signed 2 hard deals last year. One for 1,500 and another for $2,000. And I have to come up with the money within tomorrow. And if I can't, then I have to go to the land of support.
My George! That's serious!
It's so serious that every time I think I have the taxis for nothing, something has come up to put me on a peak right back again. Like last year, my business had a fit. And it wasn't so profitable because, you know, morning is so desperate.
So, why did you marry?
Sharon, you know, I'm not good at the name of Charles.
Charles Master has often borrowed you.
Charles, I'm old enough to be his mother.
Nonsense! You're 10 years older than he is. Nowadays, no nice young man would want to marry a woman younger than himself.
But this is wrong. And I didn't do him a nasty turn like that. Oh, here's Charles. Here, there, here's Chloe. I want to speak to Frederick. What? Still here, Lady Frederick? That's lies.
Let's go have these two things, Charles.
Patience, Gerald. Do you want to be left alone with the old villain?
It's been ages since I've seen him.
Well, let's say you're coming for a ride tomorrow, aren't you?
Certainly, but it has to be in the afternoon. Well, sorry, I promised Charlie to arrange tomorrow to be nice in the afternoon.
That's fine. Else with me. I had an engagement, but it was quite unimportant.
Then that's all settled. Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Will you amuse yourself? I come to river every year. But not so early. My dear Caroline, Lady Marisol was very upset, and she went to the post office to send you a telegram asking you to come here right away because Charlie was in trouble, correct? I never admit to myself that a well-dressed woman is mistaken. And you came here running so fast to protect your little nephew, and were so shocked to find out that the woman causing all this problem was actually me. You would be irresistible, Lady Frederick, if you didn't know you were clever. And what are you going to do now? Look here, do you want to marry Charlie? No, why should I? Because he has got 50,000 a year, and he's head over years in debt. And you will like too. People have... He has got 50,000 a year, and you have got to raise that 40,000 pounds, or you go under. And you see, it will not be inconvenient to change Lady Frederick into Lady Marisol. And I've always believed that, my sisters always made me believe that it is very attractive to be marchioness. Unlike the dentist, it's cheap without being too flashy. You have asked me why you want to marry a boy from 10 to 15 years younger than you, and I've told you. And now will you tell me why you're going to interfere in my personal affairs? You see, his mother happens to be my sister, and I'm rather fond of her. It's true that her husband was the most sentimental freak I've ever met in my life. Oh, I remember him. He was the president of Rochester Union Riverside District, correct? But she stuck me through my thick and thin, and I've been in some pretty tight places. But she was always giving me a leg when I wanted it. And I've got an idea. She would probably break her heart if Charlie married you. Thanks, but what are you going to do if I make up my mind that I'm going to accept Charlie? Well, he has not proposed yet, has he? No, not yet, but I have to use everything I could to stop him from proposing. Well, I'm going to play this game with the cards on my table. Sure, let's see then. First of all, there's this money I've got to raise. Well, this is my sister's suggestion. If you refuse the boy and clear up, we'll give you 40,000 pounds. Hey then, first of all, if I really wanted the money, then I wouldn't be such an idiot to take 40,000 down when I can have 50,000 just for the asking. I told her that. Now, tell me, what's your second card? Now, the second card is reputation. Reputation? Oh my God, Caroline. I don't have any, and I thought it was such an advantage. You see, Charlie is a young fool, and he thinks you're a paragon of her virtues. And don't you think you would choke him off? That's very probable. Now, let me tell you what I've got. Is someone there? Can you please tell my servant to bring me the dispatch box which is in my writing table? That's my name. What's up now? Well, you see, 4 or 5 years ago, I was staying at this hotel where Mimila Benton was performing. She was a pretty little singer, and I have never seen the loveliest emeralds that she had worn that day. You see, the late Lord Mayorson was very fond of emeralds. He thought they were such pure stones. And one day he just felt very desperately ill, and there was no one taking care of her. The English ladies wouldn't even go near her. So I did what I could, don't you know? I helped her more or less through the whole illness, and when she recovered, she thought that she owed me her gorgeous little life, and she offered me her emeralds. And when I refused, she was so heartbroken that I said I'll take one too if I had to. This bundle of letters, I'd seen the address at the back of them, and I recognized the handwriting. And I thought they would be much safer in my hands than in hers. Here you go. Even Grosvenor Square? And it's a Marissa's writing. You don't mean? What? The old sinner. And Marissa will have me in the house, if you please. Because I was Dad's Liberty, and he was the president of a Barchester Union. Good sinner. How often I had you say, gentleman,